Yes, nice and decent people. There is a big difference between religion and God. There is a difference between religion and serving God. Religion is an institution that has been created by man over many years as they try to mix in the laws of God. They try to mix the laws of God with how to govern and live in the society. And a lot of times, the people who are formulating the laws of religion and how things are supposed to be operating are people who are from the upper class or people who are putting things in favor of the ruling classes of society. There were also laymen and ordinary people who were influential in setting up religion, but along the way, their philosophies and their ideas were diluted by the more powerful and richer people in the society. There is a big difference between serving God and subjecting yourself to the dictates of religion. And I want to draw your attention to how religion and not the laws of God has messed up a lot of things in our society, and in some cases put certain people at a great disadvantage. If you are not old enough, or if you are not in the country, find out about how the teaching profession used to be before. A long time ago, when a woman, a lady, a teacher, a female teacher got pregnant and she was not married, she would lose her job. Okay? She would lose her job. Whereas the man who probably impregnated her would have been working in the same institution with her, and he would retain his position. These are the things that we get out of religion and not out of the precepts of God. I want to draw your mind and your attention again to a situation in the Bible where the Pharisees describes the Sadducees. These people found a lady committing prostitution. They laid hands on that lady to try to stone her to death because that was the law. And so they brought the lady to Jesus so that Jesus would give a verdict on that situation. They thought Jesus was going to stand up in solidarity with them in their religious vibes. They thought Jesus was going to tell them to stone the woman. Jesus told them, among you guys there right now, the one among you that does not have sin, be the first one to throw a stone at her. These men realized that they were hypocrites and that they were sinners. They were probably worse off than the lady. So they had to shamefully leave one by one and leave the lady alone. Now, the Bible never said that. But I'm just asking a question. What if, just what if, I'm not adding nothing to it, I'm just asking what if one of these guys or some of them tried to have sex with the lady or tried to get to use her services and she didn't really want them. And so they got angry at her and decided they're going to make her pay. Because there are some guys like that in the society. Say like a lady may be slack to them, they may feel like that lady dealing with every different guy. And they try to get involved with that lady and the lady decide, nah, she ain't go deal with you. And so you get so angry that at the fact that she dealing with everybody else, but she doesn't want to deal with you. So you decide you want to go ahead and spoil her reputation. Could that be what these guys were doing to that lady in the time of the Bible there? So religion organized for that lady to be dealt with, for them fellas to be coming at that lady even when they are more guilty than her. You understand? These are the things that religion will do. You remember in the 1940s, early 1940s, during the time of the Second World War. Second World War was between 1949 and 1945. Hitler was heavily involved in a war against Europe. And what happened? There's a guy named Pope Pius, and Pope Pius was blessing the bombs that Hitler was using. A pope. Pope Pius, the Catholic Pope, was blessing the bombs that Hitler was using. Right now, everybody is saying that we know what Hitler did, we know what he did to the Jewish people, you understand? But look at what a pope was doing. A pope was the enabler of the destruction of probably around 7 million people. And the pope was blessing the thing all in the name of the man-made religious vibes. That has nothing to do with God. That has nothing to do with the creator of heaven and earth. That just have everything to do with the dictates of men. There is a difference between religion and serving God. A lot of the churches that you have, they point you to recognizing men, even to the extent that the reverence that we're supposed to be giving God, men want that for themselves. And these are things that religion will do to you. And so it is of paramount importance that we understand that there is a fundamental difference and a very big difference between serving God and serving man, serving God and serving religion. I want to draw you again to another example of the destructive nature of religion. In America, they say the Southern Baptist is the biggest, how do you call it, Christian denomination group. Okay? The Southern Baptist. As a group, it is the biggest Christian denomination group. These Southern Baptist people, and they were there from slavery times. What did they say when slavery was going on? These same people, what did they say? They said, you know what them people did? These people actually took out chapters from the Bible or supported the taking of chapters from the Bible to enforce slavery. They said nothing about it. They were not protesting against it. Because there's what you call a slave Bible, where they took off all of the scriptures that will make slavery look like a bad thing. This same Southern Baptists, again, when their country is invading other countries for no reason, destroying other countries' wealth, destroying other leaders. How many times, when have you ever heard that Southern Baptist Church, the biggest Christian bloc in that part, how many times have they ever held a conference to say that this thing is wrong? The thing that is going on in Venezuela, how many pastors in America, the big ones they listen to on TV, How many of the Southern Baptists, the biggest Christian group that they have, how many of these people have ever come up and say, it is wrong for us to go and invade a sovereign country who did nothing to us? Instead, what you see them people doing, they're saying, they're praying for the troops, they're blessing the troops. The same way that Pope Pius was blessing the bombs that Hitler was using, these Southern Baptist preachers, they're praying for the troops to invade defenseless, helpless countries. That is religion again, people, that have nothing to do with God. Do not hate God because of religion. Do not hate God because of what is really the wickedness of religious people. Elohim, Jesus Christ, the creator of heaven and earth, have nothing to do with what these religious people are doing. So many ills are happening in the society, and all these pastors, these preachers with big names, how many of them do you see go about and say these things are wrong? The only places they talk is within the four walls of the building that they have, which is not the church. Because a lot of these pastors and preachers and all of them, they breaking the law of God every day. This one, the Bible said to leave the 99 that you have and go and look for the one that is lost. He said to go out and preach the gospel, making disciples. How many of these pastors and these preachers do that? These fellows go in their church every day, in their church buildings. And the reason they do that is because that's where the money is. The church building is a reservoir. Just like you have the Roseau Dam that traps the water, the church building is a reservoir to trap you so you can come there and give them your money. Because God never asked these men to do what they're doing there. God asked them to go and make disciples. There are a lot of lost people. You have a lot of young men who have no direction. That from the time they wake up in the morning is this marijuana they smoke or hemp. They smoke shit and mix it with, they mix shit with cigarettes. They mix shit with tobacco and all kind of thing. Shit is a new product now. It has been around for a few years. We have a situation where some young people think nothing to just shoot somebody just because they have a simple disagreement with them. And all these pastors and these preachers are in their churches hiding. What did Jesus say to them people? Go and make disciples, baptizing them. That's what Jesus said. But them man said, no, we ain't doing that. We're staying in these churches. How are we going to get our money if we go out there? In fact, when we go out there, these Malawi people will tell us they want diaper for their children, they want milk for their children. Nah, we stay in here. We ain't giving them people nothing. So, a lot of these pastors and preachers, they will not see God. Don't mind them. Don't mind them. They will not see the kingdom of God. Because they are operating from the perspective of religion and not from the precepts of God. The laws, God say, He put His law even above His very name. And these fellas breaking the law of God every day. So in the society, you need to open your eyes even when you go to church and ask yourself, these things that they're talking about, are these part of the religious doctrines that they have, the religious vibe, or does that have anything to do with God? Because a lot of religion is running our society. And the people that we tend to respect, reverend in the society as people of God, these people are not people of God for the most part. There is a fundamental difference between religion and God, Elohim. Religion again. There is a partner named Leopold. Leopold was like, what was he? He was president of one of these Dutch countries, I think. And the man, they colonized Congo. And this man killed millions of Congolese black people. Millions. And all of these things were happening. What was the priest saying about that? You had the Catholic Church supporting those people. You had the Anglican Church in some cases. What were they saying about that? the whole foundation of the inequalities in society is being endorsed by the religious leaders. Because a lot of times, some of them gain. It's almost like there is a secret handshake between the religious order and the people that run countries. So for that reason, religion and God cannot work. And so many times people have been hurt by religion and not God. And so because they are hurt by religion, they drop God, they forget about God, and they put themselves in all manner of foolishness that bring them in a worse situation. What's the conclusion of all what I'm talking about there? What's the conclusion? What's the take-home message? People, recognize the value of knowing God for yourself. There is a creator of heaven and earth. There is one Messiah. There is one who died for the sins of people. It is true. It is true. There is one who died, who shed his blood for people. And some people take these things for a joke, but that blood thing is a very serious thing. Because people using that blood thing, they have corrupted it and they're doing a lot of damage. But when you tell them about the blood of Jesus, they give you all kind of story. People, there's a fundamental difference. There's a fundamental difference. And it is big between being religious, following religion. Some people have followed religion all their lives, but they do not know God. They do not know God. And the religion has brought some people to a situation where they even saying disrespectful, abominable thing against God to the detriment of their soul. People, the take-home message is there is a difference between religion and knowing God, and you have to know that difference. You have to know that difference. You must know that difference. It is of paramount importance that you know that difference. Keep the fire burning.